on lonely roads, in silent libraries, and within the dark corners of our own bedrooms, there are things that we can't explain. A night drive through a quiet town where the street lights suddenly vanish behind you, one by one. A serene hike in the Appalachian woods, shattered by a scream so inhuman it could only be a ghost. Or an apparition that follows you from the depths of the Titanic to your very own home. These are not the folk tales of a forgotten time. They are true stories of the inexplicable, told by people who can't explain what they saw. And what's more, no one can. On tonight's episode of Ghosted in West Virginia, we look at the hauntings that followed them home. Good evening, obsessors, possessors, and nope,
What?
I did that wrong. Good evening, obsessors, oppressors, and possessors. It is I. Is that right? Obsessors, oppressors, possessors. Yeah, it is I, your handsome, humble, and apparently demented host, Alec McCann, and with me as always my caretaker,
Julia.
and we are back with another compilation.
Gross.
Guys, I am so sorry. Unfortunately, the software I use doesn't let me edit videos down like that, so I can't take that out. So I am terribly sorry to everybody that had to hear that. But, you know, why don't we just move forward?
Pretend
It didn't happen. Uh-oh. Except it's about to happen again. Woo! That ramen went through me like a molasses in June. I guess that would be slow. Now, we have a bunch of compilation stories for this episode. Julia did back in June. So we don't really know if we've done this one. We don't know what the stories are. We have no way of knowing.
It doesn't say recorded beside it.
It does. So we're just going to go with the fact that we probably haven't done this one. And because we haven't recorded this one, and we don't know what it is, the intro you hear has not yet been recorded at the time of this recording. So, we don't know. But this first one,
It'll be new for all of us.
let's go on this journey together. I'm so excited. We don't get to vacation very often,
No.
you know? So this will be nice. This will be wonderful. Of course, it's not much of a vacation. We're staying in the same pretty much location. But
We are going to watch stars tonight.
we are going to watch stars tonight. That is going to be hopefully entertaining. Otherwise, I hope one of them parents has, a movie we can watch. Because,
Right.
well, my phone doesn't get service over there, and a lot of people have, like, movies in the back of their vans.
You're just going to sit in the back of the van
Yeah,
of somebody's creepy van.
yeah. Especially if they got the, Robin, I want to say it's Baskin Robbins, but I know it's not Basque. I think it's Basque and Robbins, but I'm not sure. But it's the Hobbit, the cartoon Hobbit
Oh.
that I've... Bass and Rank. Stupid.
You don't know.
Stupid. Anyway, That's what I would watch in the back of that van.
Gotcha.
All day, every day. Nothing but The Hobbit this, The Hobbit that. Not that Peter Jackson trash. Nah, I want the real Hobbit. That has beautiful music and down, down the goblin, down, down, down the goblin, down, down the goblin, down.
When I think of hobbits, I think of lots of delicious soups and breads.
Strangely enough, that fits. That fits. Anyway, this first story is written by Copnonymous. This is just creepy in general. One of the most enduring cryptid stories in the Appalachia is that of the Banshee. I actually believe I should be reading this in a different accent, but I don't know that I can pull it off. So we're going to try right here.
What are you doing?
Well, I don't know. We're going to see.
Hobbit?
We're going to try. Nope. Huh? But why would a creature of Scottish myth have just... Nope. Can't do it. I don't know how to do a Scottish, nor do I know how to do an Irish accent. Oh, wait. Oh, have I done it? Oh. It's not that bad. I don't know what it is. It's not an Irish accent. These people are like, would you just read the story, you idiot? Please? All right, here we go. But why would a creature of Scottish myth have such staying power in the backwoods of the U.S.? Sir, I would have you know that we are the front woods of the U.S. The Rockies. All right, that area is the backwoods of the U.S. because it's literally in the back.
I watched this video of this man from Scotland talking about how people in the U.S. are crazy. He said, you have a whole place dedicated to tornadoes and you live there? He said, and you just act like it's nothing. You're outside boarding up your windows. I'm just getting ready for tornado season. He said, and I had hay stir up into a little circle when I ran and hid. He was like, Americans are crazy.
We'll just live with it, you know?
Right? We're used to it.
Well, now it's because people have heard it before, including me. I was hiking alone in Tennessee a couple of years ago, enjoying the forest trails I ambled along. What?
I remember this story now.
Enjoying the forest trails I ambled along. I made sure my gear made some noise. After all, there were black bears out here, and they're dangerous if startled.
It's a little, though.
Could you imagine? Like the red pandas. Standing up. You scared me. And then they swipe you and you realize, oh no, this was Mike Tyson. I shouldn't have been messing around. Wait, no. Tyson Fury. Because Mike Tyson in his prime was a grizzly.
Yeah.
Wait, no, because
He's a brown bear.
the polar bears are stronger than all of them.
Brown bears are mean too, though, aren't they?
Yeah, but I'm fairly certain polar bears are
meanest.
and the biggest. Aren't they the biggest?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like there was that one video of that dude that was in like this enclosure and the polar bears sniffed him out and they were trying to break that glass to get to him. They did not care. They're like, no, I don't eat berries. I eat your twigs and berries. Come over here.
I'm glad we only have black bears here.
Yes. And they run across the road going, please don't see me. Please don't see me.
I'm so fast.
Wata! like Wishbone. Wata! All right, so it's funny that they're dangerous when startled. Like if you just walk up on it and they're like, oh man, Dave, I saw you coming a mile away.
But
they're all right.
I mean, they threw my mom's big barrel.
Yes, they threw, and your mom put a cinder block on it like that was gonna stop. It wasn't even. It was a brick.
Because I remember I was hanging clothes after picking up all of our trash that was everywhere, and then I look over and I'm like, I texted her and I said, why is your barrel over here by the garage laying on its side, and sent her a picture, and she said, what the hell?
I love that they put a brick on it. Like that was gonna stop. The bear was like, too heavy with that brick on it.
He picked that brick up and said, off with you.
I can smash through doors, but not bricks. I'm not a karate instructor. I'm a bear. So I'm a thief.
Right. I'm just hungry.
Now, it had been a peaceful morning, and the biggest animal that I had seen was a doe blinding off into the undergrowth. Don't know what blinding off is, but there you go.
Disappearing, I guess.
Blind. I wonder if this person is some sort of No, because he's hiking in Tennessee.
Boy?
I never in my life would have said they were blinding off. That doesn't make any sense.
You wouldn't even have been out there.
I would have, had you made me.
Yeah.
So, other than that, all I heard was the sound of birds. My boots on the earth and my breath as I huffed and puffed up the mountain. That would be me. That would be me. Then I heard a sound that made my blood run cold. It sounded like a woman screaming. Okay. There were no words, just a rising and falling scream. It was loud and clear and lasted for a few seconds before fading. I stood motionless, heart pounding in my ears. And right as I believed I was dehydrated and hallucinating, I heard it again. It was the same distance away, but the fluctuations sounded weird. It sounded vaguely human, but decidedly inhuman at the same time. And at that moment, I turned around and quietly walked back down the way I came. He said, nope, right on out. There was an old logging road, and I trudged through to cut back to my car and away from the noise. The entire way back, it felt like I couldn't breathe, even after the screams had faded into the distance. First of all, you've wandered into the Blair Witch. That sounded like your food. You check it. You want me to pause it? You want them to see all this we making stuff. Look at these are ghosts, little Franklins we got here, little Franklins. Anyway, so this dude clearly ran into a Blair Witch situation. If any of you have played the VR game for the Blair Witch, the headset game, you find a sawmill, and it's quite creepy to be there. So he's found himself an old logging road.
Hey, I've returned.
She's here. Everybody hide your gear. Stop cranking your yanks. Jules, scandalous woman. You've let people see you. What?
I don't know. Such strange sounds.
Why? Now I had heard of the Banshee, and was somewhat... Is that Oliver out there? And was somewhat convinced that was what I had heard. I had never been one for ghost stories, but I heard it myself. Or, so I thought. As I retold my tale months later to my uncle, an avid outdoorsman, he laughed at me and showed me a video, and what I heard on the video was it. What I heard wasn't a banshee, though. It was a mountain lion in heat. The scream was a call for a mate.
Wasn't that fun?
Yes, but this does just go to show that not all things that happen in the Appalachian Mountains are haunted or even cryptids. It's still scary. Mountain lions are scary.
For real. The first time I heard mountain lions, I didn't like it. I was quick to go back into my house.
But I do believe this is the only non-scary story we have. What is that sound? 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. Sorry about the interruption. It was the air conditioner making that sound. Now, we are jetting off to South Africa.
Woohoo!
Because Black and Artsy... Oh, now that we're in South Africa, I wish you had named yourself something else. Because I'm American. And we're very self-conscious about calling out people's skin. White. I went to uni in South Africa, and I lived in an apartment that was next to a hotel. The Radisson. Oh, hold on. That has changed the whole tone of the story for me.
Okay.
I went to uni in South Africa and lived in the apartments next to a hotel. The Radisson, actually. My light would every now and again switch itself on and off, which I figured was an electrical failure because South Africa sucks. But the creepiest would be if I left the room for a few minutes and came back to find the light on or off. Because I pushed up too much. Like, even if the switch was pushed down. I used to sleep with my curtains open, and one day I woke up to the bathroom, to go to the bathroom. And it was very late, like 3 a.m., the devil's hour, I hear. My room was across the restaurant. That's... what? Okay. Rooms across the restaurant? Alright, fair enough. I saw a man walking across the restaurant.
Maybe across from the restaurant in the hotel.
Maybe.
I don't know. Whatever.
So far, she just left the bathroom to go across the restaurant that you assume is closed. But here we go. I saw a man walking across the restaurant in a tuxedo. And I was like, that's odd. There weren't usually any people up there late at night. I come from the bathroom, the land down under, and I see him walk past again in the same direction. At this point, I started to feel a little uneasy. A scooch closer. Not a scooch. I scooch closer to the window. Please note, I'm in the dark while the restaurant lights are on, so I can see this person, but they shouldn't be able to see me. Dude, you can't say things like that and have me read it. So sorry. The person again passes by, headed in the same direction, and now I am really creeped out because I don't see them when they come back. It's as if there were so many people, or it's as if there are many people who look exactly the same who are passing by the same spot. Anyway, the next time around, he stops, turns, and cups his hands around his eyes while looking through the window, as if he's looking right at me.
Absolutely not.
I ducked, crawled out of my room, and spent the next night in the living room. I won't like and say I'm a skeptic. Okay, alright, that's alright. I won't like and say you're a skeptic either. I won't like and share. Won't like and follow. But I'm definitely an ignorer. Okay. I never spoke about this while I lived at the place because that would make it real. But after I left, I was like, that place might have been haunted. You might be right, Black and Artsy. Melanin favored and artsy. That's what we'll call you. Melanin flavored. Flavored?
Flavored?
You taste like skin, boy.
Ew.
That's terrible. Alright. I'm not even gonna try. What's this? Mekautaku. Alright, so this person must enjoy anime. That's more of like a Japanese pronunciation.
Yeah.
Right there.
I like tacos.
I know you do. I do too. I married one.
What's this supposed to mean?
Isn't that what people call vaginas?
Ew.
When I was 20, I moved into a house with my then girlfriend. It was a 3-bedroom rental in a decent part of town, and really, really cheap. Who died? The only downside was the landlord didn't live in the same state and didn't speak English, so repairs took time. What's up?
I need something to scratch my back.
The only downside, so thanks to a series of unfortunate events by Lemony Snicket, I was able to leave reality for a long time. But then I had to come back and read this story. Thanks to a series of events involving my girlfriend's job making her come into work and her brother being a flake, I ended up moving everything in by myself. 10 minutes into the move, I had my first encounter. Oh yeah. Alright, so out of the corner of my eye, I saw a black dog looking up at me from the stairs. I thought I was hallucinating from exhaustion, but then my dog, a large German Shepherd mix, who was upstairs with me, walked over to the stairs and started growling, looking straight at it. And the dog just casually walked away. I ran down the stairs, looked everywhere, but couldn't find it. We both saw the dog a few more times and had a few other weird sights, sounds, experiences in the house, but there was... Oh yeah, cover it up. She's yawning because she's so bored with this, the way I'm saying it. I ran downstairs and looked everywhere for it, but I couldn't find it. We both saw the dog a few more times and had a few other weird sights, sounds, and experiences in the house, but there was one that was beyond a doubt a paranormal experience. It's what caused us to move out. The dog and him both came to a decision. They said, hey, I don't know that this is working out for us, Fido. And Fido was like, yeah, I'm going to have to go with you on this one.
We got to go.
I don't like the vibe of the place. All right, check it out. I'm German, and I think it's too dark in here. Our master bedroom. Oh, the German Shepherd sleeping in the master bedroom. Of course he is. Germans are so obsessed with the master of everything. Ugh. Our master bedroom was upstairs. It was a particularly hot summer, and the old AC wasn't cooling upstairs very efficiently, so...
Like our house.
Right? So we slept in a bedroom on the main level that I was using as a computer room / guest room. That's where he whacks it. This room always had a weird vibe to it, because you're doing gross things in there, sir. And we noticed that our dog... Oh, right, I forgot the girlfriend existed. This entire time, it's just in my head. I forgot the girlfriend existed, and he's just been living there with this German Shepherd.
Of course.
Wait, does the girlfriend exist? Is that the same story?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so, whoops. Oh, man. So, okay. He was a little strange at times. Wait, who was? I'm so sorry.
Maybe?
And
where are you at?
So, this room always had a weird vibe to it, and we noticed that our dog, who typically followed up everywhere, would not go in. Instead, he would lay down in front of the doorway and wait for us there. It was a little strange at times, so we didn't pay any mind. But at some point in the middle of the night, I woke up being violently shaken. I came to, and I could feel a hand firmly holding my arm and shaking me back and forth. Thinking the house was on fire, because you capitalize the two TH. I know, but I was having fun. What are you doing?
I'm itching.
You got kidney problems?
I don't know, man.
You failing?
Something is wrong. I itch everywhere. That's my liver. It might be. You know how much Tylenol I've had to take lately?
Schizophrenia.
No, schizophrenia doesn't make you itch.
No, but maybe
And don't
isn't
tell
it
people
one
I'm
of the...
schizophrenic before CPS comes and tries to take our children.
Honey, I
Children?
don't think anybody would take me seriously if I said... Nobody takes me seriously when I say you're 41.
Yeah, but
It's probably because you're 42 next year. So, no one's going to believe that you're schizophrenic. I could feel a hand firmly holding me, and thinking that the house was on fire and my girlfriend was trying to wake me up, I jumped up and turned around to get out of bed, and that put me face to face with what a lot of people would call a shadow person. Don't really know how you're face to face with that, but okay. Right. Now, it looked like a black mass, vaguely in the shape of a human, but by the light of the street light outside of the window, I could see it clearly. I could feel freezing air pour off of it. Thinking I was dreaming and my girlfriend was still trying to wake me, I turned around only to see her still in bed, sound asleep. Turned back around and the shadow was still there, now wide awake and full of adrenaline. I withdrew back away from it. Having sufficiently scared the bejeezles out of me, the shadow slowly turned away, lumbered towards the door and out in the hallway. My dog, who was sleeping in the hall, woke up and skittered,
I like that word,
backwards into the bathroom towards me, terrified. I sat on the bed, collected myself before jumping back out of the bed and going into the hall. Turned on the light, and of course, it was gone. Didn't wake up my girlfriend, but...
He said, F you, B-word, I'm leaving.
I didn't wake up my girlfriend, but I also didn't sleep until the sun came back. I told my girlfriend about it the next day, called the landlord, and told her we were moving out. Told her the house was haunted and we weren't staying after the current month. She seemed to understand and didn't protest at all.
She knew.
She was like, please don't leave yet. We're not done. I have money that needs... Are you so tired?
I am, man. That's why I keep asking y'all to start watching things. So
I'm excited for it.
I'm excited too, but I'm just so very sleepy. I'm going to have to make some coffee beforehand.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. Let's have some stew and some coffee. Now, this is written by Realistic Door 686. Woo! While visiting the Titanic Museum, my friend and I were excited to see pieces of White Star Line, first-class china, silverware, and other artifacts that have been brought up from the depths of the Atlantic Ocean. Now, let me just put this into a way that will ruin it for you. Those used to be owned by people. They didn't come back up. Just saying.
I'm just saying, there's room on that door for more than just Rose.
Mythbusters proved that's wrong. There was a velvet roping around the authentic Titanic deck chair with a model in period costume. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. With a model in period costume. Now, we joked with the woman while shuffling past with our group that this job must be delightful. Being able to watch people all day long while being seated struck as rather ideal. She just smiled. At the end of the tour, most people were filtering out of the museum, and we stopped and jokingly asked our guide how to land such a great job, repeating what we had said to the woman on the deck chair, and he began to laugh and he said, "Oh, you saw Miriam. She's not always here, but we welcome her anytime, honey." Honey. We asked how much that would pay, and he laughed again. "Miriam is the name of our ghost. You don't think we'd let anyone just sit in the Titanic deck chair, do you?" And we could hardly eat our lunch and realized we both had encountered a spirit.
Could you imagine? Hi, Ryan.
Ooh, this one's kind of creepy. It's just called The Tapper. This could be the title of like a YouTube horror movie short. Like, you know, like a horror movie or a short horror movie that we used to watch every once in a while.
Hey, that soup is done if you'd like some. Don't touch the lid without that glove, though.
He was about to touch that lid without the glove after you said it.
Hot.
All right. This is written by Joaquin. When I was 8, I loved the woods. You all right? What's up?
You.
When I was 8, I loved the woods. It felt safe, like home. But this forest I was in, it didn't feel right. The story happened in 2013 when I was moving to Las Vegas from Texas. My family had a dog, and every time we would stop, I would let her do her business on the grass and give her water. It made me feel important, so I liked it. Okay, all right, you're doing a job. That's admirable. Admirable, Trapper Joaquin. Until this happened. You alright? You're having too much fun with this. Until this happened. It was a usual stop, but it was dark out and there was a grass area by the woods. As I let my dog use the bathroom, she barked at 2 piercing eyes that were red and looked as tall as a tree. Okay, you need to run.
Right?
Brother. I didn't.
That's a big woman.
Well, that's a big woman. I didn't know what I was looking at, but it made me scared. It sounded as if it cried in a demon's voice. The car was far away, and as I turned around, it moved. And then I realized it was playing a game. Grand Theft Auto or something. I couldn't tell
Maybe
what it was.
The new GTA 6.
It had the game before us. My dad saw it, and he always carries pistol. Like I said, we all from Texas. He pointed the gun at it and shot it 3 times. I made a run for the car, but the thing was screaming. My dad got in the car and drove over 80 miles per hour and then realized I was not in the back of the car. Because he doesn't say he got in the car. He said,
I was like, what?
Yeah,
he
did.
Just drove away.
Well, look, it says I made a run for the car,
And when
but
dad took off,
my dad got in the car and he drove.
Rude as hell.
Now, it was then that I realized it was a skinwalker. It probably wasn't, because I've never heard anyone being as tall as a tree for their skinwalking journeys. Have you?
I don't know that anyone's ever mentioned how tall. Well,
I thought they characteristically take on the visage of a dog.
some of them are like deer things.
That's a Wendigo, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
And they're
I've
more
read
of a
so many-
cannibalistic spirit than anything else.
So many different
Stories.
things, yeah. That I don't know that anyone's ever mentioned the size of a skinwalker. Everything they mention is always just really tall, regardless of what it is.
But not like as tall as a tree. Like when you say that, you're thinking like 12, at least 12, 17 feet. Like you're talking about something that would be, I guess there are some, like the Bray Beast.
Yeah.
Or the Dog Man is another one of those types of things, but those
That's
are like
tall?
Yeah, it's like not like giant, but like 10 feet tall, 8 feet, that kind of thing. I guess that is giant, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That kind of deal. Anyway, the next morning, or as my mom had, okay, so it was then that I realized it was a skinwalker, as my mom had a past with it. Okay, here we go, main character energy. Whew, he is Dean Winchester. The next morning I thought we were safe, but we were at our new house, but later that afternoon I found 9 blood spots in the yard, but I felt like I was being watched, as you don't know how to write a sentence, as if it followed me that night. I would hear crunching through my window. I grabbed my pocket knife just in case, and then I peeked through the window, and then I realized that, oh my goodness, dude, you need to rethink your sentence structures here. Then I realized my dad just made it angry. It wasn't leaving because it was scratching and yelling at my window. I yelled, but no one heard me, so I pretended I didn't see or hear anything and eventually fell asleep. But the next morning I saw it face to face. It played the same game it tried on me the last time. It blinked and it moved swiftly. I called for my sister to come and help me. And when she came, she screamed. And the thing, it charged. It's not okay, man. We were lucky we made it to the door and got in, but that was the time I thought. I thought that was the time we were safe, but when I showered, we had a window in the bathroom by the mirror. I noticed it was watching and shaking its body, and I'm not sure it was shaking. Oh, sorry, I took that a little far, but it was fun. No. When I showered, we had a window in the bathroom by the mirror that I never noticed because we had just moved in. And I was still shaken up as I stepped foot into the shower. I heard a growl. I thought it was just a pipe, so I just got in. You just saw some terrifying monster
watching you.
And you hear a growl and you're like, oh, it must be pipes. What happened? What happened between you screaming and needing a shower?
Right.
Which, that logic doesn't make sense. The thing charged and we made it to the door and then I got in the shower. Like, why didn't you get out of the house?
Right.
Like, it charged. Did it come in through the window? Did it just smack against the window? And you were like...
Did one of those.
Yeah, one
like
of those.
I did.
Ah!
But I'm trying to scare y'all.
Now, apparently it didn't, or I thought it was just a pipe, so I just got in, and apparently it didn't like that, and I heard the window break.
Uh-oh.
It said, oh, that boy's naked now. I can get him. I'm just an evil Native American witch with perverted dreams.
With perversions.
Penis bacon. That's what it's gonna do. It's gonna flay him out.
Ooh.
Penis bacon. That's what it's gonna make. What? Where'd you get this sausage? A shower on Amherst. Oh man. All right, so I prayed for God to help me, and somehow it spared me and left. But I know what I saw. Told my uncle the next day, and he said I was just dreaming in the shower. In the shower, okay?
Right.
I'm dreaming in the shower.
Do you know when I was in high school, because I had curly hair, so I would get up in the morning and take a shower so I could do my hair and make it whatever. And I just fall asleep standing up in the shower.
Did you fall over?
No, usually the water pummeling into my face would wake me
Oh.
up. But I would be washing my hair and I'd be like, you ever wonder why it's hard to get Ryan up in the morning?
That's why.
It's because he's my kid.
I gotcha. Now, I know what I saw, and it smiled before leaving me. Apparently that area was known for that, even though it was a nice town. A couple of months later, I saw it again out of my window, grabbed a machete as protection after the last time I saw it. But then it unhinged its jaw and screamed a scream that sounded like 12 people combined.
No, man.
Its skin was pale white with the same red eyes that I have pierced into my brain. But this time I was ready. I locked every door and every window and prayed to God to help me again, and it vanished. I didn't have to get all Evil Dead on its behind. I don't know how it kept finding me, but I hope this doesn't happen to y'all. Alright, thank you. Whatever your name was. What was it? Jiffy
remember.
Lube? my uncle. Oh, Joaquin. That's what it was. Joaquin. All right. This story is called Maybe Not So Lucky, written by Jane J89.
I remember this story, and I enjoyed it.
You were so excited by that.
I was.
I couldn't believe my fantastic luck. It was a week before Halloween, and I just received my first work placement assignment for the library technician program, the children's section of a public library. This meant that while other students in my program would be spending the week ahead shelving and cataloging, I'd be spending it cutting out construction paper pumpkins, singing songs about witches, and eating my weight in candy.
And now I want to be a librarian. But only for the holidays.
My cousin Deborah's a librarian.
Is she?
Unless she's changed her job now. But that's what she was when I talked to Aunt Annette last.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. As a lifelong lover of all things Halloween,
Same girl.
I was literally, she is literally a lifelong lover of all things Halloween.
And Christmas.
It's my birthday. She got her best day ever. Love is true. Love is true.
I'm just brushing my hair.
With your hair clip, I know it's
Just
weird.
tangled.
Now, I was delighted. The library was old. One of the oldest buildings in town. It had gargoyles, a spiral staircase. It was the perfect place for spooky stories and Halloween parties. I think I was more enthusiastic than some of the kids. More than once, I found myself skipping down the halls humming the Ghostbusters theme song. Same girl. About midweek, the librarian had to leave early for an appointment, and this left me completely on my own for the last half hour of my shift. Sorry, last hour, not half hour. Now, it was fun by me. Fine by me. I was holded up. You work in a library, hussy. Library. They have words in those things. It's not all about cutting up stupid paper pumpkins. Alright? It's not all about singing songs about witches. Sometimes you have to know your proper grammar. I hold it up.
The line.
It's I held up or hold up in one of the basement offices with my music playing softly, the door propped open to keep things from getting stuffy, and a collection of paper zombie puppets to color for the next day. This sounds like the perfect job for you.
Doesn't it?
It seemed like the perfect way to end the day. Oh, okay, Dr. Seuss, good job. When I had finished, I paused to send a quick and slightly smug text to a classmate who had spent the day shelf reading. Then I went about tidying up the office. It was quiet without my music playing. I was alone in the basement, and the few sounds that came from upstairs were muffled by thick walls. It felt like I was the only one left in the building. After setting aside the finished puppets and putting away the colored pencils, I grabbed my bag and prepared to head upstairs to call my ride. Almost as an afterthought, I kicked the doorstop away from the door so it would close, except it didn't. For some reason, the heavy door stayed halfway open, and I shrugged. Maybe it was stuck on something. Maybe the carpet had bunched up and was now blocking the way. I poked my head back into the office to look for what might be holding it open. There was nothing. Satisfied that there was nothing in the way, I grabbed the door handle and went to swing it the rest of the way closed, but still it would not budge. Not even an inch. Bracing both hands against the back of the door, I tried to shove it into place. I may not be particularly large, but I put my whole weight into it, and for a moment, it seemed like my efforts were paying off. I was making progress. Until I wasn't. Until I felt something push back. Startled, I peered back into the office again, expecting to find some disgruntled janitor or some other library worker standing there, judging me for having a good time with my children affairs. Still, the office was empty. Empty. But I could see, I could feel the door pushing back against my hands and erasing all of the progress I had made. But I could just feel my heart beginning to pound in my ears. Leave the door. Or I gave the door a tentative push, and something pushed back again. I gave it a shove, and that same something shoved back. I gave the door a rough shake, and it shook back just as roughly. It wasn't so quiet in the basement anymore. I swear, I could hear heavy breathing coming from the other side of the frame. What could I do? Some crazy World of Warcraft fan was on the other side of this door. He must have escaped from his mother's basement and was fighting me for superiority over this wood.
Do you know what this reminds me of? When I worked at the nursing home and I had to go do one of my in-service things on the computer, and I had to take Jacob with me, and he called my mom from the nursing home phone and was just breathing into the phone.
And your mom didn't have a number that it was recognized, so all she heard was
heavy breathing.
What could I do? I was all alone in the basement, and no one upstairs was close enough to hear me if I yelled. I was going to have to handle this, whatever this was, by myself. Took a few steps back on trembling legs, and then with a running start, I barreled into the door. Shoulder first, thank you. I must have looked completely ridiculous, but it had the desired effect. Finally, it slammed shut, and the latch catching with a reassuring click. Breathing hard with relief and rubbing my now probably quite bruised shoulder, I leaned heavily against the door. That was when a loud, violent thud made the door rattle on its hinges. I jumped back. It felt exactly like someone pounding with both fists against the door as hard as they could. And that was it. I'd had enough. I needed to get out of the basement of the library. I ran, bag in hand, rattled up the stairs, sprinted right out the front door. I didn't even stop to call my ride until I was well down the road. And of course, I had to go back the next day.
I don't believe I would have.
Now, as scary as the experience had been, the idea of failing my course was still scarier. Okay, I gotcha. I debated whether or not to say anything to the librarian about the previous night's events. On the one hand, my grade depended on her, so I really couldn't afford for her to think I was crazy. But on the other hand, I was only going to have to be in the library for a week while she was there every day. Shouldn't I warn her that something was wrong? In the end, I decided to approach the subject carefully. While we were setting up for the spooky story time, I asked her if she had ever gotten creeped out when she had to work in the basement by herself, and she sighed, gave me a knowing, almost bored look, and said, "Oh, so you've met him." Apparently, many people, the librarian included, had encountered a male presence in the basement, a presence that they described with words such as angry, aggressive, homoerotic. Aggressive certainly sounded right to me. They even had plans to have a team or paranormal investigators come in. Now, it was all admittedly pretty cool, but it was also something I really would have appreciated knowing at the time before I met him. Now, I finished the rest of the week without incident. I didn't feel quite as lucky to have the assignment as when I had first started, and neither love nor money could ever get me back into that basement. Bum, bum, bum. Alright, so where am I in this? Oh, okay, so we're on the, second to last page here?
Looks like it.
Alright, so we only have 2 more stories to do. This first one is called The Road into Darkness by Old School Coog. Did you write this? Yeah, okay. It was the fall of 1994. I had just graduated from Washington State University.
That old.
Right. A research college tucked into the rolling hills of Palouse region in eastern Washington. That part of the state is all farmland. Endless golden waves of wheat and barley that stretch across the rolling hills and open prairies, and dirt roads that seem to go on forever. It's the kind of place where the sky meets just a little, or feels just a little bit bigger. As a graduation gift to myself, I bought a brand new Jeep Wrangler. It was the perfect ride for someone like me who spent nearly every free moment out in the wild, camping, hunting, off-roading. If there was a trail or a dirt road, I was on it. Just was. Just how it is. Out there, you could breathe. It was quiet, free, peaceful.
I get that.
Yeah.
When I'm inside, I feel like I can't breathe sometimes.
Oh,
And then when I go outside, I feel better.
okay. I get you. Now, where am I? That fall, my dad, a Navy vet with more than 20 years of service, made plans to meet up with me for a deer hunting trip. Oh, I've seen this movie starring Willem Dafoe. The Deer Hunter. It's a joke.
Huh.
It's actually not Dafoe. Dafoe was in Apocalypse Now. It was Robert De Niro. That's who I'm thinking of. Robert Danny De Niro. That's not his middle name. Our destination, a forested region north of Spokane, about 3 hours away. He came over from Seattle, and we spent the night before the trip going over to topo maps, which topography maps.
I know.
Okay, I didn't know if you knew or not.
I did.
I didn't know before a certain time. Alright, so here we go. This is way better. Topography maps and laying out our plans. We hit the sack early, planning the road by 2 a.m., hoping to reach our campsite before sunrise. And we did. By 2 a.m. sharp, we were on the road. My Jeep was packed, gassed up, rolling north on a 2-lane highway that paralleled a train track, cutting through more wheat fields and the occasional sleepy farm town. That night, the only thing keeping us company were a few rogue deer and the glow of the Jeep's headlights slicing through the darkness. Yeah, we're gonna slice some darkness up, aren't we? Now, we were about 45 minutes in. 45 minutes in, I was behind the wheel. My dad was fiddling with the AM radio, seeing what he could pick up, if anything, this far out in the middle of nowhere. Now, eventually, we started approaching one of the tiny farm communities. Maybe 5-6 house silos on the left next to the train tracks, with barns. Most of the homes were on the right side. And we got closer, something strange started to happen. This stretch of the highway was straight. It had been that way for a few miles. You could clearly see the line of street lights up ahead, and in the rearview mirror, they faded off behind us. Everything was exactly as it should be. But as we passed the first farmhouse, we and the speed limit dropped to 25, I glanced in the rear view again and noticed something off. The street lights behind us were disappearing, not dimming, not flickering, just going dark, one by one, like something was hitting a switch in reverse and coming for us. I kept watching, trying to make sense of it, until I finally said to my dad, "Hey, could you turn around and look at this?" He leaned over and looked behind us, and instantly he saw it too. The streetlights were shutting off, one by one, heading straight in our direction. We both went quiet. Then the AM station had been turning into fizzled static. Next to us, the second farmhouse's lights shut off completely. Porch lights, barn floodlights, all of it. Behind us was nothing but black. And then the Jeep died. Everything. The headlights blinded out. There it is again. Dashboard lights gone. Engine dead. We were just sitting there in total silence. No power, no light, no explanation. I tried the ignition. Nothing. Not even a click, Linda. And up ahead, the lights continued to vanish. Like darkness itself was crawling through the community, swallowing one building at a time. My dad and I just stared at each other. Neither of us said a word. I think we were both trying to just process the same impossible thought. What is going on? After a few moments, I turned in my seat and looked out the back window. There, off in the distance, a faint glow. A street light, and then another, and another. They were turning back on. In the same order they'd turned off, the light crept back towards us. House by house, street light by street light. Soon the farmhouse behind us lit back up. The silo, the barn, and then the light next to us flickered to life. And finally, the Jeep came back. Headlights burst on, illuminating the road ahead. The dash lit up like a Christmas tree. The radio sputtered back into static and then returned to music like it had never stopped playing at all.
That's aliens.
I did try the ignition again. The Jeep started on the first try, smooth as ever, actually. Like nothing had happened. But something did happen. Something real. Shh. Something real happened, Jules. Something did happen. Something my dad and I both saw and both felt. I'm glad that he said, or that I looked at that sentence, because I was about to say something really did happen between him and Scoutmaster Scott.
Ew.
But then he said it was his dad, so not gonna say that. That's gross. We don't believe in familial child abuse. Just if Scoutmaster Tom says he can. Now, something my dad and I both saw and both felt, and to this day we have no idea what caused it. I've never heard of a power outage that rolls through a town like a wave that kills vehicles, silences radios, and then just rewinds itself like a tape being played backwards. There's no logical explanation. I'm sorry, you don't have one. And we've never talked about it much since, which, why would you? Why even talk about this situation? You know, why even try and say, what is it?
Left not
just don't. Pretend like it didn't happen. That's all you need to do. Pretend like it didn't happen. But something did happen. As he said, something did happen. Sometimes late at night, I still wonder, was it some kind of military test? An electromagnetic weapon trial way out in the middle of where? I'm gonna guess he meant nowhere there. I'm gonna hope he meant nowhere, because otherwise that doesn't make sense. Or was it something that this thing is not letting me... Oh, I'm sorry. Or was it something else entirely? Something not from here? UFO encounter? I don't know.
That's what I think.
But I've been driven through that, or I've never driven through that town again, and I don't plan to. Is that the end?
There should have been one more, I thought.
I thought there was one more. No, I guess that's the end.
Well, how did we miss one?
No, that's...
Oh.
Alright, so that's not the end. We do have one more, but go ahead. Tell us why what about that story gave you
Why
the
do I think it's
yeah.
UFOs?
Yeah.
You're so serious. Because of all the lights, how they just went out and then came back on. UFOs are known to mess with things like that.
True. They are indeed known for that.
So that's why anytime somebody mentions like things shutting off and like stories where people are driving down the road and then their cars shut off and then they see UFO type things and then when it's gone their cars start back up, or like the radio interference,
right,
stuff like that. It's always UFOs.
I got you. I understand. Now we do have one more thing. It is actually from Jeanette.
Yay!
I haven't
read this yet, so
one of our listeners, Jeanette, she sent us a story, so we're going to I'm going to look for it here and see if I can find it. Give me 1 second. All right, so these are stories that have been shared by Jeanette, one of our listeners, and a person that is our friend.
yes.
We haven't seen her in so long, but
Rude.
she is our friend.
She is where Max came from.
But she sent us a couple of stories that she's experienced. So these are short, but I'll try and make them interesting. When we lived in the trailer park in Wardensville, there was one night I woke up laying on my back in the middle of the bed. Brian was to my right, and I realized Sean had crawled into bed with us and was laying on my left. I looked around the room and had an uneasy feeling someone was in the house, and lo and behold, I look in the corner and there was a meth addict cranking away like a crazy person. No.
Wardensville.
Yeah, that's why I said it. Thinking someone might have broken in, I went to hit Brian to wake him up, but I couldn't move. And then I realized there was a dark shadow as tall as the doorway looking into our bedroom. Ooh, that's pretty creepy.
That was creepy.
My mind went straight to the scene in Kill Bill where she wakes up from the coma and then wills herself to move her big toe. So I focused all of my mind on moving my pinky finger while never taking my eyes off the shadow. I finally got the pinky to move. It was like a jolt went through my body, and I woke up a second time. After that uneasy feeling, the shadow were gone. Jeanette. Really? The shadow were gone? Girl?
You leave her be.
Girl. That is the only thing I've experienced with sleep, or that is the only time I have ever experienced sleep paralysis. Now, at the house in Fairmont, there was a dark spirit that liked to hang out in the corner above the bed you slept in when you came to visit.
Eek.
They didn't tell us none of that.
No, I didn't have any weird feelings.
I had some pretty good feelings. You know, yeah, there we go. Fist bump that girl. Woo. Anyway, I hope they heard that. I hope they heard that.
They did too, because it was you.
Lies. Now, after having a friend come over with sage and blessing the house, the dark spirit went away, but the hall light never quite seemed to work right after that. And when it finally burnt out, I swore I would never change that light bulb, and I never did. However, the friend said that there was a child spirit there as well, and I said as long as the child didn't cause any harm there, they were welcome to stay. One day, while we were having a Nerf gun fight in the house, I was standing in my bedroom door, shooting at everyone else who was hiding in Sean's room. Hold that thought. Now, there was suddenly a dart hit me in the back. This must be the boy that killed Jesse James if he's shooting people in the back. I'll tell you that. So, there was no way for a dart to bounce off of any angle and hit me in the back, so I picked up the dart off the floor and threw it back into the room, assuming the child's spirit wanted to be included in our fun. The only other, where is my Medusa thing? Okay, the only other time I experienced the child's spirit was putting away laundry one day, and it knocked one of Sean's toys off the corner of my dresser, and I told it not to be rotten. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's our list of stories. I hope they thrilled you a little, chilled you a little, and curl up your feet. Salted garlic is, well, she's looking for that aphrodisiac. And that aphrodisiac is the heel of your foot. She likes
the crustier the better.
The crustier the better. She likes to put it in a lotion that makes your skin drier, ironically. All right. You guys enjoy your evening and know that we love you all. Bye.
Bye.
Look at little Franklin watching his puppy videos. But you don't have to watch puppy videos. You can watch Ghosted in West Virginia and join our channel. And if you think about it, you could also go over to Ghosted in West Virginia Facebook page and share and subscribe there as well. Of course, if you don't, you're a loser.